Hey guys, how we doing? Chris here, bringing you guys another video, give you guys an update on the canaries and a progress update on the chicks. As you can see, 2 of them have just fledged. They actually fledged yesterday, and then we still have 1 in the nest. So a couple things we're gonna go over is what to do to let your hen nest again while there's babies in here, how we clean the nest box, and then also getting these guys set up and ready to nest. So that's kind of what we're gonna be covering for today. So just give you a quick update here on these guys. So the chicks, they're starting to fledge. So we have 1 right there. We have another 1 right there. And we still have 1 right there in the nest. So one thing I wanted to talk about is the cleanliness of their nest pan. So with canaries, especially when the babies start to get older, once they get past about a week and a half old, a lot of them, they'll kind of scoot their butt up to the edge and they'll poop. And lots of times their poop with these particular cages will fall down and they can get your floor really messy. See how we have all this? So that's something I got to clean today. And if not, it would have just gone right on the floor. And you'll have to excuse me, I haven't cleaned my cages yet today. That's on my to-do list. But just wanted to show you the reality of when you have a lot of canary chicks in the nest, this is a reality. And so just wanted to show you guys kind of how messy it gets. And usually when the chicks are about 2 weeks old, it will start to get really messy like this, and I'll clean it out. And then usually right before they fledge, you'll need to clean it out again just because it gets messy. The more chicks you have, the messier it gets. And so we had 3 chicks in this little small nest pan that poop a lot. And they don't like to poop down inside their nest because they like to keep it clean, so they poop up around the edges so that they're not sitting in the poop. And obviously that ends up clogging that. And so there's a couple things you can do. Usually, like I said, about 2 weeks is when I will clean the nest pan for the first time. So this will be my second time cleaning it. And I didn't get a video the first time, but I have extra pans of these. So if we come over here, I have an extra pan with a nest bowl inside there. So I'll just take the babies out and I'll just place them inside this nest pan and hang that back up on the cage. And so that's something you can do. If you don't have that option, usually once the canaries are about 2 weeks old, you can take the canaries out and you can clean the nest as much as you can and then put them back in there. Or if you have another nest option, just to hang back on there, swap it out, put the chicks back in there. The parents should be fine with it. I've never had an issue of them like abandoning their babies or stop feeding them or anything like that. And so that's just something to be aware of, keep your eye on. So and then it will just help keep the nest clean. It'll help keep the babies clean and just in a healthier state overall. And so that's just one thing to keep in mind is when you have lots of canary chicks, it does get messy and dirty. So it's important to clean them. And usually about 2 weeks of age is when I will clean their nest for the first time, between 2 to 3 weeks of age. And they'll fledge, a little bit after 3 weeks. And so you really only have to do it 1 time, maybe 2 times if you have a lot of chicks. If you only have like 1 chick in there, usually it doesn't get dirty as fast, but something to keep aware of, keep in mind. That'll help you to keep the nest clean. And so now what I want to talk about is my hen nesting again. And so what I'm going to do today is, I'm not going to show it on the video, but I showed you my extra nest pan. I'm going to swap this out today. And I still have the 1 chick in there, so I'll put that 1 chick in the clean nest. And then I've put up a separate nest here. So now she has the option of 2 nests, right there and right there. And she's gonna start building a nest within the next week. So it's usually about when the chicks fledge and they're out in the open, that's about when the hen starts building another nest. And I haven't given her nesting material yet, but I have some ready to go that I'm gonna put in here. And usually for my canaries, I just rip up a bunch of paper towels and put in there for them. You can use cocoa fiber, you can use, they have the other nesting fibers that you can use, feathers, Canaries aren't very picky, at least mine aren't, and so they'll use that and they'll start building another nest. So I'll put that nesting material in here today, and she'll probably start building another nest, and she'll probably build on this one. But even if she doesn't choose this one, she'll have a clean one here to go back to and nest there. And what we'll do is we'll wait for her to clean the nest. Hold on, my kids are wanting to come into the cage. What's up, sweetie? Oh, you okay? Okay, I'm almost done, then we'll come in, okay? You coming in with me? Okay. Sorry about that, guys. My daughter wants to be in here too, so once she starts building her nest, the male will basically take on the rest of the feeding with the chicks, and he'll wean them. And so once the hen builds her nest again, she'll start laying eggs. Once she's laid her last egg, what I will do is I'm gonna divide this cage off, and I'm gonna leave the hen in here by herself to sit on the eggs, and then I'll have the male and the chicks in here, and he'll finish weaning the chicks. Excuse me, I got a cold in here. So the reason why I do that is, one, so that the chicks don't bother the mom, and she can just worry about incubating the eggs. And because lots of times the chicks will jump in and out of the nest, and it disturbs the mom, and she jumps off, and sometimes they can break the eggs or mix them around, that sort of thing. So I usually will separate the hen so that she can just focus on sitting on her eggs, and she'll have her food and water. And then the male will finish weaning the chicks. And once the chicks are weaned, I'll put the male back in with the hen, and then we'll leave the chicks out by themselves, and they'll eventually go out into the aviary, and she'll start her second clutch. And so, or by that time, her eggs should be getting close to hatching again. So that's what I do with my canaries. That's kind of my system. So if you guys have multiple canaries that you're looking to breed at one time, that's the system that I do. If you have like one male and two females, what I will do is you'll set your male up with the hen that's ready the most, right? He'll breed with her. Once she's laid all of her eggs, you can take that male out and put him in with the second hen. And then he'll fertilize her eggs and get going. And then you can either choose who you want the male to stay in with. It doesn't really matter. Probably I would leave him in with the second female and just leave one hen to hatch and raise her chicks. And they should do it fine. You know, they don't have an issue with that. And so if you're trying to breed two females with one male, that's the system that I'll kind of take in swapping them back and forth. And so that's definitely something to keep in mind. So, and I can go further into detail on that if anybody wants. Right now, obviously, I only have 2 pairs set up, and so I won't go too much further into detail on that. But if you guys have any questions on that or details, yeah, that's Mikey. You can drop some comments below in another video, or I can go a little bit further into detail. So here we have our other pair. So this is my Lipochrome male or hen, and then my Mosaic male. And so she, for the last few weeks, she hasn't been super interested in breeding, and so haven't done a whole lot. Avery, haven't done a whole lot with them, and I actually was gonna take them and just put them back in the aviary because she didn't seem to be super interested. My male's been singing every day, but then these last couple days she's actually been showing a lot more interest in the nest. She started to tear up her newspaper. So I'm gonna throw in some nesting material today and see if she builds a nest. If she does, cool, we'll let them breed. If not, I probably am going to put them back out in the aviary and separate them and just wait until actual springtime when she would be ready then. So that's kind of what we're waiting on there. So I know lots of times you get frustrated because your birds don't breed for you right away. And it takes patience, we've got the lighting right. I've been feeding them egg food every day, and trying to bring her into that conditioning to the point where she wants to breed for me. And that takes time, you know, that takes 1 to 2 months worth of time. You know, it's just not 1 week and you do it and they should breed for you. It's not quite how it happens. But so she is starting to show more and more signs of wanting to breed. She gets along really well with this male. He's pretty docile with her. And so we'll throw some nesting material in there. Hopefully she'll build a nest and we'll get ready to lay some eggs here soon. But if not, we'll see what happens after that. So there's our update on the canaries. We'll let you take a peek. Here's our one little baby. We'll open up this, all that nasty poop will get cleaned out. So I've heard a rumor, or a theory, I guess is what I should say, is with canaries, if you have a nest pan full of babies and you go and look at the babies, usually the males will duck into the pan, kind of like what he's doing, and your hens won't seem to be bothered too much. And so I haven't really put that theory to test, but at the same time, I'm not quite sure if that's what really happens or not. So maybe if you guys want to test that theory out, if you got some canary chicks, look and see if you know, about the time when they're ready to fledge, if they duck down in their pan, maybe take note of those chicks, band their legs, and see if they turn out to be a male or not. See if that theory's true. But just something to think about, some food for thought, some good old canary wise tales. But hope you guys are enjoying the videos. Hopefully your breeding's going well for you guys. We'll see you next time, and we'll bring up a couple videos of color feeding, because I would like to color feed these babies and show you how deep of an orange that they'll get. And so that'll be something that we'll do in the future as well. So thanks for watching, guys. See ya.